News everyone, hi, I'm Lore, and welcome to yet another video. We have a major announcement from Hoyoverse regarding 3.0 Honkai Star Rail's Euphorious patch. Now, I've read some of this already, I skimmed over this. I got the news when I was out getting lunch, but I'm back now, I'm rested, and I'm ready to go over it with you guys. So, let's get into it. So it says, following the launch of version 3.0, the Express crew has received an array of feedback from Trailblazers during their exploration of the new world. Some of the feedback concerns issues with Trailblazers' experience with the story and exploration. We will be making adjustments and optimizations to address these issues with the aim of bringing Trailblazers a smoother journey experience. So yes, everyone, the devs did indeed listen, it seems like. They're taking in feedback from the Euphorious story. Let's look over some of the things they talked about. So following the launch of 3.0, the Express crew received an array of feedback from Trailblazers during the exploration of the new world. Some of this feedback concerns issues with Trailblazers' experience with the story and exploration. We'll be making adjustments and optimizations to address these issues with the aim of bringing Trailblazers a smoother journey. I think that's a typo. Trailblazers smoother journey. Yeah, I think that's a... Is that a typo? I don't know. Whatever. So, the main story issue is that they receive feedback from Trailblazers that the Euphorious main story contains excessive lore exposition and too much reading, resulting in feelings of fatigue and tedium. Now, I want to talk about this because I've seen a lot of pushback on places like Twitter and Reddit and even on Discord from this feedback. And in my opinion, I think this is perfectly fine. I think that this is a good thing to address because you have to be real here. The story was about 10 hours long, meaning that it has to be told in a way that is very tight and very concise if it's going to be that long. Look at Wuthering Waves 2.0. The story for that was 8 hours long, and no one complained about the length of the story. They commented that the story was pretty long, but no one complained. No one felt tired from experiencing the story of Wuthering Waves 2.0. However, people felt tired, exhausted, fatigued experiencing the story of not Wuthering Waves, but Honkai Star Rail 3.0. People were sick of Euphorious, they missed a lot of stuff, and they absolutely hated the story, because they chose to binge the entire 10 hours, and it just made them miserable as a result. See, after 2.2, I knew better and decided not to binge, but I know a lot of people just can't help themselves. They want to be ahead of the curve, and they want to avoid spoilers, which is why they decided to binge the story in the first place. And I think blaming people and shaming people for doing that, or just feeling tired and fatigued from experiencing the story, that's very poor form, because regardless of whether or not you binge the story, the Euphorious story is still very slow-paced. It gets very deep in the weeds with its lore, and you also have the puzzles too, which kill the pacing as well. And it can make you feel incredibly exhausted, even after spending maybe like an hour or two chugging away at the story. All right, let's continue. Euphorious has a complex design, and during development we want to ensure the information supporting it was as complete as possible. However, the result has presently failed to meet Trailblazers' expectations. I think they did a pretty good job explaining the lore of Euphorious. I have no qualms with it, but I know a lot of people do. There's a lot of people... Let me say that again. As you can tell, there is no script. A lot of people experience the story in different ways. Some people just want to blast through the story, get it all done really quickly, and they don't care about lore, they don't care about story. They want to get to the cool parts, they want to finish the story and not have to think about it for the rest of forever. There are other people who do want to get into the weeds and look at things like lore, character interactions, and things like that. For me, the lore that they told us in Euphorious was very interesting. It was very in-depth. It was very well thought out. So far, there hasn't been any pieces of lore that feel half-baked or just there for the sake of shock value or anything like that. So, yeah, this is probably just something the majority of the player base is feeling, especially post-Penacony, where it got way too deep in exposition. So this is probably just more kickback from how they handled Penacony. Anyway, in response to this feedback, we'll address the root of the issue by reducing design-related explanations in the story. In upcoming versions, Trailblazers will have the option of skipping this content so that they may experience the story in a more relaxed manner. So I don't think this is a cutscene skip. This is probably just, do you want to skip all the lore? Here you go. And they even show an example here with Phynon. You used to be able to ask him questions about Euphorius. You needed to ask him these questions first, then you can move on to the next part. Now you can just move straight to the next part. This helps with the pacing of the narrative. And yeah, that's pretty good. So they mentioned another pain point here, Orynyx's trial. I know this is the most boring part of the game, the part of the game that really frustrated people. So they are shortening parts of this, and there's this part where you have to like put all these different items on one of the scales before you can move on with the story. But now you can just skip all that and you could just go straight to the next part of the story. Very good. And they will also look to arrange present missions in a more reasonable manner and reduce tedious narrative experiences like black screens with white text. Very good. That means we might actually see what Triby's gates look like outside of the promotional art they've done for her. So yeah, pretty good. Very nicely done. Now let's get into the puzzle solving issue. This is a major issue that people have with the Euphorius story. The pacing in the story just grinds to a halt when you have to do these godforsaken puzzles. The pacing of the story is slow enough, and then the puzzles just make everything worse. They exacerbate the issue. So, the Euphorius main story contains some unique stage gameplay. Narrating wants Trailblazers to experience the rules and designs of the world, both through content of the story and through the gameplay. However, in practice, we should have achieved a better balance between puzzle solving and story. The puzzles also containing too many steps. This too often resulted in puzzle solving interrupting the flow of the story and detracting from the experience. Very true. Even when I was going through the story, I was just so sick and tired of doing those puzzles. By the time we got to the travel to the past part, I was completely done with puzzles. I was sick of it. So it looks like they're going to optimize the puzzles and make the puzzles simpler and offer more direct solutions. Very good. They're going to make the puzzles faster to solve. Very nice. And speaking of what I was talking about during the time travel part of the story, where we go to the past, the Cache of Kremnos, looks like they're going to shorten that part dramatically, or at least the puzzles. Yes, Trailblazers must complete the drawn-out task of restoring 4 soul-forging statues to piece together Nikador's divinity. Following adjustments, Trailblazers will be able to choose to talk directly with Gnos and complete the mission objectives in a more Kremnoan fashion. I wonder what that means. I wish we had a story replay feature, but I guess that's not on the table right now. Okay, so that is being adjusted. That is a very tedious part of the story where you're just solving puzzles for like an hour. So I'm really glad that they're shortening that too. So before reaching the Soul Forging Zone, Trailblazers must complete a series of drawn-out puzzles. Yep, already read that. So at the same time, we will optimize the lengthy and complex map pathing. There we go, I can speak. For the main storyline's exploration, the overly concentrated enemy placements in certain areas will be reduced to prevent enemies from frequently interrupting map exploration and puzzle solving. This aims to enhance Trailblazers' experience through the main storyline. Now, this is one part I disagree with. Maybe it's because I have Acheron on both of my Honkai Star Rail accounts that I don't really feel bothered by this, but I guess other people do. It's not much of a problem for me because we barely do enough, gameplay when doing the story. So having enemies around does help, give us more to do besides just running around, solving puzzles, and listening to story. So I don't know how I feel entirely with this change yet. But yeah. All right. To reduce any negative experiences caused by the above issues and make sure the overall quality meets everyone's expectations, we're continuing to polish and fine-tune upcoming versions of the game. Regarding existing content for version 3.0, we will proceed with the aforementioned changes. We anticipate these adjustments will take effect from version 3.2. So keep this in mind, everyone. This is not going to be coming in 3.1. They're going to retroactively do this for 3.0. 3.1 has already been decided. It's already set in stone. It cannot be changed any further without causing delays. So do not expect any significant changes in 3.1, okay? This is all going to be for 3.2 and onward, all right? 3.2 and onward. We'll see if Hoyoverse can stick to their word and adjust the story and exploration accordingly. Now, let's get to the most exciting part of this letter. Well, exciting if you really like the gameplay of Honkai Star Rail. So Euphorius is a year-long journey, and the story and puzzle-solving optimizations are just the beginning. The Express crew will continue to optimize content. We're excited to bring everyone bigger and better journey experiences. To name some examples, we'll be adding richer combat gameplay and challenging goals to the game, In addition, issues close to Trailblazers' hearts, including difficulty deploying older characters on the battlefield, and the strengthening of these older characters are already on the schedule. Stay tuned for future content updates, Trailblazers. Yes, it sounds like they are going to do it. They are going to buff the old 1.x units, and some of the 2.0 ones to be fair, and bring them up to parity with the new 3.x characters. This is incredible news, and I think it's pretty unprecedented for Hoyoverse. Maybe Honkai Impact 3rd has some buffing system, but nothing's been done for Genshin Impact, nothing's been done for ZZZ, or as far as I know. Correct me if I'm wrong on ZZZ, I do not play that game, but something is being done for Honkai Star Rail, which is incredible. Now, what they're going to do is up in the air. They could just do the bare minimum, maybe, or maybe they'll copy what Wuthering Waves is doing, where they tailor-make relics to work for one specific character, and now one specific character gets giga-buffed by the relic, and if you want that character to be good, you need to farm the relic, and they do like 120% more damage or something like that. I don't know. But whatever the case is, older characters need help. Blade needs help. Jingliu needs help. I do have Blade, Jingliu on my main account. I have Seele on my alt account, and they're just collecting dust. They're so terrible, and they feel awful to play in the current landscape. HP inflation has gone out of control for MOC, Pure Fiction. Apocalyptic Shadow wasn't even made for these two. They were made for Super Break and made for... and they were made for, I guess, the Herda now, because we're going into this weird AoE meta where Erudition units are just going to pop off on every piece of content nowadays. So, yeah. Older units, they need a lot of help. People have invested hundreds, thousands of dollars getting their 1.x characters to E6, getting their light codes and all that, and they have nothing to show for it. E0 Herda can outdamage an E6 Jingliu on a good day. That is absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, 1.x characters, they need serious help. What they're going to do, it's anyone's guess, but I hope it's substantial enough that they can be brought into the limelight, into the spotlight, and actually be competitive with their 3.x counterparts. All right, that is it for the letter. The Voice of the Galaxy, Developer Radio Special Edition. And yeah, this is overall a good sign. It's very obvious that the developers of Honkai Star Rail, they do understand the issues plaguing the game, and it seems like they are going to take the necessary steps to improve that. So yeah, thank you guys so much for listening to this video. This is an unscripted talking head video, but if you like that kind of thing, please let me know in the comments, and yeah, please subscribe. On my way to 300 subscribers. Thank you guys so much. See ya. I'm out of here.